All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Fans Union for the fans by the fans. A little bit of a lighter cast tonight, but nonetheless, we're here. We're getting the rep in. Logan, what's going on, baby?
Amen, brother. Got to get the reps in. Consistency is key, boys.
That's right. So, our two lovely other co-hosts are not available tonight. They'll still be here regularly. And sometimes life gets in the way, and here we are.
They're here in
Um,
spirit, baby.
So, college episode is out last night. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in. If you haven't, links in the Instagram bio. Links is also in the description here. So go ahead and catch up as need be. But NFL slate for this past weekend had a lot of interesting things. A lot of if somebody it's time for you maybe hit the panic button things. For myself, we'll talk about the Falcons in a little bit. I'm very excited about that, but there's still some things I definitely worried about. May not be the right word, but yeah. So I was just watching some football. Did you know old Big Papa Pump's son plays for Jacksonville State?
Maybe. It doesn't sound wrong. You know what I mean?
I think his name is Brock. Maybe I want to say something like that.
I don't know.
Is
I
he
know
caught a
one of them played
touchdown?
at KSU, then played for the Ravens. Yeah, but
Yeah.
one, what's his name?
Hold on,
The
let me look
other,
it up.
the,
Let me look this up real quick.
I forget. I don't know. He's in WWE now, but he was KSU. Then he went to the Ravens for like a season or
Oh, what
two.
is his
I
name?
think practice
Bronson or
squad
something like
type thing,
that?
and then yeah,
Is
that's
it
his. I
Bronson?
think it's his wrestling name. Sounds right. Something like that.
Hmm.
I want
All
to say
right.
Bronson Reed, but that don't sound right.
Hmm. Oh well. Well, Logan, I'm gonna let you lead it
I'm
off.
not that
Well,
deep.
what are we gonna kick off with first?
Say we jump into the Eagles and Giants Thursday night football. It's the first game anybody got to see. Entertaining
Logan's
game
second
for
favorite team.
multiple. Hey, go Dart, baby, go Dart. But a couple things, kind of touch on here, kind of caught my attention while watching. Um, the Eagles had a 100-yard receiver, or not receiver. They had a guy with 100 receiving yards, and his name was not AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, which is crazy to me and honestly hilarious. Dallas Goddard had a big game. He went for 110, pretty solid game out of him. Had a tud, 9 catches, 11 targets. I mean, AJ Brown did have a solid game, 80 yards, 6 catches, 9 targets. Saquon with another kind of subpar game, only goes for 58. Didn't really make that big of an impact, which is kind of crazy. But on the other side of the ball, Jackson Dart looked good. I mean, he nothing really blows you off the page, but it's one of those things where only 8 incompletions, throws for 195, throws a touchdown, runs for a touchdown, and just the energy that surrounds that team when Dart's at quarterback is a completely different team. It's kind of insane.
I was just about to say that real quick before you keep going. Was like, it's not that he made some really good throws, some really big time throws, but it's not like he was just carving them apart, and that's kind of what got you. It's like it looks like this team is really behind him,
Yeah, for
and that
sure.
showed evidently in the scoreboard.
And honestly, like I think like Malik Neighbors on this team could make them have like wild card hopes. You know what I mean? Like I really think there could be a. I mean, they're going to be on the outside looking in. If Neighbors is there, they're definitely on the outside looking in right now. But it's just one of those things. Like if they have a true wide receiver one, like maybe you could see them like having at least wild card hopes. Not saying they would have made it with Malik Neighbors. It's year one for a couple of guys there. But they're big guys, but I could have seen them. At least the last couple weeks being just on the outside window looking in the hunt, as they always say. But I think one thing I'm most disappointed in this game, why does Dayball not let Scatterbo go ahead and get 100 yards? I think it was like 2:30 left. He ran the ball, got to like 98 yards, and he didn't run the ball the rest of the game. And I'm like, let the Rook get 100, man. He's already got 3 tuds, having a killer game on prime time, doing his backflips, barking, all that good
On my
stuff.
fantasy bench.
Dang. Yeah, he had a killer
Well,
game.
I left him in. I left him out because I was like, okay, he's playing Philly. Like that's on paper a tough matchup. And then
Yeah.
Javante Williams was playing Carolina. So I'm like, oh, slam dunk.
Yeah.
Boy,
That's
I
fair.
was not right on that one.
Hey, you can't win them all, brother.
It's
But
fine.
Scatterboo also had a big catch in this game and late in the fourth quarter. I can't remember if they went for it on fourth or they just picked up a big third, but they hit him on a little route in the flats. He catches it, stays in bounds, keeps the clock moving. It's a pretty big catch at the end of the game that like pretty much sealed it.
Pretty sure that was third down.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was fourth or third down, but honestly, they might have went on to score that drive. I don't remember exactly. That's a week ago at this point, but regardless, he had a pretty big catch on a pretty big down, and then nothing the Giants did really blows you away. I think how many turnovers did they end up having?
The
Eagles.
Giants. I know Dart didn't throw a pick. Let me look. I got it right
I
here.
meant the Eagles when I said that.
Oh, the Eagles. They had 2 turnovers.
Okay, so. Hurts pick, and then there's a fumble. AJ Dillon fumble. So I was thinking it was like 3 for some reason, but regardless, pretty big game by the Giants. They keep momentum rolling, and honestly, if they could have took care of business against the Boo Boo Saints, they could be sitting at 3-3, which is
and
solid for them.
Like you mentioned last week with that too, is I mean, it's not even that you have to play out of this world to beat them. It's you don't have to turn the ball over 4 times and a half.
I was like 5 total.
Yeah, so I mean that's. That you're not going to be able to beat anybody. Clearly, if you're not beating the Saints, which actually I will say the Saints have been surprisingly a lot better than I expected. 100%.
Yeah, but as you always say, tallest midget kind of thing. They're still bottom 3 in NFL probably.
Yeah, do they only have 1 win? Is that their only win?
I think it is.
Yeah, but something like
right.
They don't look hopeless when they lose.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Dolphins look like it looks hopeless when they lose. You know what I mean? Jets. So, I think what really stands out to me is we talked about this with Philly last week is kind of how you made the point of like people give Sirianni too much crap, which is probably fair. That I think people honestly do. Sirianni gets too much flack for right, wrong, or indifferent. But there's something about like you remember last year when he's barking at the fans in Cleveland, like that was a terrible look. There's just a lot of things that like you don't want to allow anything that looks in a win that you wouldn't accept in a loss, right? So I think the Eagles are kind of seeing a lot of things that people were questioning. Oh, so and so looks frustrated. These guys don't look like they're having fun. Sideline tension, whatever that could be. And I'm not saying that all happened this week, but when you start losing, when you lose 2 games in a row, because that's their second loss in a row, right? Denver was last week.
Yes,
I think it was. Here I can look at it right here. But whatever the case is,
yeah, because them and Buffalo lost Sunday to become the
So they lost 2 in a row. But that stuff that people are drawing questions to, that stuff that you can visibly see, like these guys don't look like they're having fun. It looks a lot more prevalent when you're not winning. And I think the question for Sirianni is not, are you a good enough coach to be there? Because I think obviously he is. Knows what he's doing as a coach. But one thing that you can be the smartest X and O guy in the world. How can you lead men? And in a situation when you have turmoil, like it seems that they have, just optically, how are you handling that? Because I think when you're winning, it gets iced over. It shouldn't, but it does. I mean, that's just winning cures all. Bad things are accepted when winning happens, and in any sport really. But when you're doing it in front of the entire world on national TV, there's more pressure for that. And if you lose the 3rd game in a row, how is Nick Sirianni the kind of guy that can control a locker room? I mean, this is a guy again who was yelling at his own fans, away game in Cleveland. You know what I mean? Like I really am interested to see how he handles kind of the turmoil. I use that term loosely, but kind of the dysfunction that they have going on there. I'm really really concerned about that personally.
I don't want to say this, but it's almost getting to a point where when you see like these NBA teams get together, kind of like when OKC went and got Melo, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, it kind of like reminds me of like there's too much talent. You know what I mean? Like it gets to a point where if you can't learn to be unselfish, too much talent does kind of get in the way. What's
Sorry, I
going
thought I thought I saw a notification that Billy Napier got fired. I was about to about to take the whole
on?
thing loose. I'm so sorry.
Okay. No,
Keep
you're
going.
good. I'll say you were looking mad concerned. So, but yeah, it kind of reminds me of that kind of thing where it's like, and the thing is, they keep going to get talent. Like you keep adding guys like Tank Bigsby, and they go get Jahan Dotson in the offseason. It's like,
Ojulari from New York.
yeah, like it's like I don't think you guys having pieces is the problem. Like I think it's controlling the egos right now. It kind of seems like, and I mean, I hate to say that because they're talented and they just came off a Super Bowl. They've been to 2 in 3 years. Like the talent's there. Like I don't know. It's a head scratcher because I really like a lot of the guys on this team. We've said previously in this podcast, but I mean, at the end of the day, Philly will get loud if they don't start figuring it out quick. That's just Philly fans for you.
I'm looking at it last year. Um, they started off the season and kind of in a similar situation. They started off 2-2 going into their bye week, losing both teams in the NFC South, the Falcons on Monday night, and the Panthers, or excuse me, and the Bucks. And then they won their next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They won 10 in a row, lost one, and then won the next two. So, you know, this
So then they
very
won out. That's what you're saying.
well, they lost one. They lost one game in the midst of
Okay.
that. They won, I guess, 12 out of 13.
Okay. Well, I thought you were saying 10 in a row, lost one, won two the end of the season, and then they won it all. So they won out.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So they lost one game in what, 16 games, 17 games?
Yeah. So
And that just
the
shows the
thing
kind of
is,
talent they got.
what I will also say to that is too, just because that happened last year, that doesn't mean that's how this is always going to go.
Oh,
A,
100%.
a team, and I'm not saying either of us are insinuating that,
Mhm.
but for anybody who is looking at it, oh, they did the same thing last year. I mean, this is not the kind of routine you want to establish. Like, I mean, obviously you want to win 10 in a row, but I mean, it's looking bleak. You're going into this weekend. You're going into Minnesota before playing New York again. I mean, they don't have a bye. It looks like for 2 more weeks. So um, they've definitely got to get some things figured out. But they've got the talent to do it. My question is Nick Sirianni the person to rile that locker room in? And I'm not calling for Sirianni's head or anything like that. But if there were some turmoil and it were to get star pieces get traded, whether it be one of the receivers, somebody on defense, whoever it may be, that starts to happen, then we got to have a real look with Nick Sirianni looking in the mirror. But obviously it's the Eagles. They're probably the most stacked team in the league. Argue if they're not, they're number one or two, or they're number two or three. So I think they will figure this out. But I think you're going to see some ugly, maybe not football, but you're going to see some ugly body language, and I don't think that's going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to find a stat that I found, but I'm not finding it, and no need to continue to spend time on this game, to be honest. So we can move along.
So Giants, they could, they could be on to, getting on a rhythm, and the Eagles could be going opposite. So we'll see. Next, do you want to here? Let's thought about this. Unless it spins more, what we're gonna do is go in order of the games that were played this weekend. You're gonna try to give me maybe not one word, but maybe one sentence, one phrase to describe each game, or both of us will. So I'll get it started quickly. And here I'll go ahead and share this with you. So you are looking at it as well.
If you're on ESPN, I have it pulled up. If you're looking at the slate,
I did, but for anybody who's watching, I'll have it pulled
okay.
up.
Yeah, this is what I got pulled up as well. So this is perfect.
Okay, cool. All right. So Denver at New York. Disaster.
Sloppy.
Disaster.
I'll say this: seeing the leading receiver having 42 yards is crazy.
Well, I mean, what didn't they have like?
Shout out to Eazy though.
Bo Nix led the game in passing and threw 174 yards.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this right here. Graham will probably get one of his lovely rants next week, but I just want to take a look at this number right here to make sure this is right. Justin Fields, 45 passing yards. I think he had net 10 maybe or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, absolute. It's amazing the difference between him and week one that we saw against the Steelers because that guy played well.
Yeah.
All right, move on to Arizona at
Hey,
Indianapolis.
I will say this. I saw a stat of the last 3 times the Jets and Broncos played, and every single score is like that. It's like 13-9,
Oh,
9 to
dude, those
7.
games are nasty. I don't know why those games are nasty though. You're right, 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
Moving along.
all right, Arizona, Indianapolis. Wow, Danny, Danny Dimes.
Danny
I'm not
Dimes,
gonna.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, that's no. Brissett had a really good game. He was a leading pass through over 100 or 300 yards. Let me ask you this: if I asked you after you watch that game, who is your guy? Who would you rather have your guy be? And not just based on the game, because obviously that's um, just one sample size out of an entire season. Would you rather have Jacoby Brissett be the leader of your team or Kyler Murray? I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm going
I
Kyler
think
Murray.
I think I'm gonna go Jacoby Brissett.
I say Kyler Murray solely because the upside differential, and this year you're already not going anywhere. Honestly, it might be time for them to get another quarterback. They
They
might
may
want to hit
have it.
that draft.
They have it on JB. Now, and it's funny because the Colts, I don't think they're a dime. They're a dime. I don't think they're a competitor or anything, but I think they've got the number one offense in the league, and they're 5-1.
Hey, first time the Colts have won 5 games through their first 6 games since 2009 when Peyton Manning was there.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is quite a while. Now, I do want to preface here. I don't mean for this to I don't want it to sound demeaning or undermining. It may. When you look at the schedule that they've played, um, they let's see, they beat the horrible Dolphins. Probably shouldn't. They shouldn't have beat the Broncos. Should have won that game. Beat the Titans. Lost to the
Hey,
Rams.
real quick, when they beat the Broncos, they missed the kick to win the game and got to re-kick it. Don't forget that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Rams best team you've played easily. You lose to them. Raiders dumpster fire. Cardinals and Cardinals were driving. Cardinals very well could have won this game. They got to inside the 15. So I don't think it's the record. I don't want to say is misleading per se, but this is a team who's not going to be competing for anything, and I think is going to go through some troubles here soon with the schedule heating up a little bit.
I do agree, but this is kind of the sometimes good teams, like in their first year being good, this is kind of how they become good. Is like they start off with like a rocky schedule, and then all of a sudden you're like building that momentum. And then by the time they start playing these real teams, they still win a handful of them, or 70% of them, and then go on like a little playoff run. I'm not fully counting them out, but yeah, absolutely, their schedule's not been strong. I will agree with that. Hey, before we jump off this game though, Jacoby Brissett is making those Allstate commercials look brilliant.
Oh, the backup.
The whole call your backup,
Yeah.
we need a backup. Like, dude, he comes in and dices up this defense.
That did age pretty well. I will have to give you that.
So, like, when I see this, him throwing for 320, I'm sitting here like, dude, those commercials, bro, like they're right. They're spot on.
Yeah.
Like, we need a backup.
Okay. Los Angeles at Miami. Dolphins lose, of course, 27-29. My phrase for this one, over with. That's another one. That season is done for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They really, and again, they were leading most of the game. I actually watched most of these games, the bulk of them at Taco Mac. So that was pretty cool getting to see all those. But yeah, Miami is really, really a big letdown.
I agree. And well, we're going to get into it later. But Chargers, honestly, you got to win by more than 2 against this Dolphins team.
Well, it's not even. I don't even think it's the margin. I think it's the fashion. and how you win. Because they
Yeah,
could have won this game. Like the Dolphins very well could have won this game.
yeah. But I
But
mean, it's nice to see HN getting his. HN's a dog.
yeah, he did have a good game. Um, so okay, New England at New Orleans. Saints lost, or excuse me, Patriots won 25-19. Drake May with another, pretty sound performance. I think AFC East champion. Not based off this game, but I think it's going in this direction, especially with Buffalo looking like they're hitting a low. We're going to talk about them a little more extensively here in a little bit. Um, but yeah, AFC East champion.
That'd be bonkers.
And Graham brought it up. That schedule, it's very, very favorable
Yeah,
in
that is true.
accomplishing that.
I mean, honestly, what jumps off the page, just quickly checking like what we're seeing right here in front of us, the leading rusher having 31 yards in an NFL game is insane.
Yep,
That
that's a
is
perfect game for it to happen.
That's crazy. But Drake May has looked great this year. Actually, I picked him up in fantasy today because I saw that I think Josh dropped him. I guess he got some Wi-Fi or something. He dropped Drake May, and Drake May's the 5th best quarterback. You know how quick I dropped Kyler Murray to pick up Drake May?
Good choice.
Dude, lightning fast. So Drake May's having a great sophomore season. No sophomore slump there. And honestly, I'm going to credit a lot of New England success to Mike Vrabel, dude. I believe in that man more than probably I should. I've always been a Vrabel guy, dude. I love Rabes, and he just bleeds the Patriot way, I feel like.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he came up in it. Robert Kraft's still there, so that's always going to be a thing. Well, as long as he's running or the owner. But yeah, so we'll see. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Gritty, very gritty win. Obviously, the Browns are anemic offensively, but their defense is very sound. They really do have a good defense. It's just they're in so many unfair situations. But you're playing. I listened to a guy next to him. He said, Browns. I don't think you beat them if you have an adult quarterback, like somebody who's not young. He's like Aaron Rodgers is too much of an adult to lose this game, and that's kind of what it came down to from when I was watching of it. So yeah, gritty, really gritty win.
Yeah,
It was raining too.
Browns defense is very good, which is crazy because the one game the Browns could have won, the Browns defense couldn't get a stop.
Yeah, that's true.
Who was that they were playing? I want to say Arizona. I
Um,
don't think that's right though. Who? Yeah, let's look real quick. We got time. It's just us two.
yeah.
Take a quick little peek.
Uh,
Vikings. That
yeah.
Vikings game, they were up, and the Vikings drove downfield and scored kind of late into the fourth. And that's a game they could have won. Gabriel's first start didn't look bad. They could have won that game, but just couldn't get the stop, So
Look at the
I don't know.
dumpster goal coming up this weekend.
Oh, Jesus. Smash the under.
Yeah. Smash the off button, the change channel button.
Yeah. Can we can both these teams just get a tie just so we don't have to watch this?
That game is a tie. That is the definition of a tie.
But I will say maybe I'm crazy. Each week, the Pittsburgh Steelers are under the radar and keep winning. And, it almost makes me wonder, are they a team that could get into the playoffs under the radar, win 12, 13 games, and then all of a sudden, before we know it, they're in the playoffs and they're kind of lighting it up? They're sneaky good, got a good defense, got savvy vets. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but could they knock off, upset, a top seed in the playoffs or something just because they're overlooked, Because at the end of the day, it's still the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, great coaching.
Who's a young team? Okay, say, well, that's separate sides. Who's a young team on that side of the things that they could play? Let me think.
Let's say Indy or Jacksonville.
Yeah, perfect example. Indy. That's a great example. A team like Indy goes in. You think Indy wants to play the Steelers week 1 against Aaron Rodgers or Jacksonville?
Yeah,
I could see that kind of playoff success when I'm talking about the Steelers. You know what I'm saying?
it's
Like,
kinda like getting to it's like almost in the NBA. I think it's more of a thing where you kinda gotta go through heartbreak before you get there.
yep,
You know, it's kinda like the rule of
yeah,
thumb. The Steelers are the team to be the heartbreak for you.
yeah. It's like, that year the Pacers or the perfect example. The year the Celtics take the Cavs to 7. Tatum dunks on LeBron that year. Without Kyrie, and it's like you're like, oh my god, like you're like they're gonna do it, and then at the end of the day, LeBron wins. It feels like Aaron Rodgers could break a young team's heart like that this
Yeah.
year. You
Wow.
know?
Great comp. Great
Yeah,
comp on that
that
one.
that's just kinda how I'm not saying the Steelers are gonna win the Super Bowl, but I'm saying they could be sneaky good all year, fly under the radar, and go break a young team's heart. That's
Yeah.
just kinda how I feel.
So we'll see. All right. The Panthers beat Dallas 30-27. Another one over with. I don't think there's much to salvage for the season if you're the Cowboys. I will say I hate it though because Dak has been really good this year. I think Dak is a great quarterback, and George Pickens also lost his mind. Uh, really should have had 3 touchdowns. He actually made a hurdle, Pickens, that was one of the better hurdles I've seen, and it's not because it was super acrobatic or anything. He hurdled him and then gained like 10, 11 more yards. Like I've never seen a hurdle or haven't seen many hurdles where it happens and they don't get tackled immediately. So, um, but yeah, it's got Carolina. I don't know what it is, man. It's like it's like you ever see that Family Guy episode where it's the celebrity bike boxing and Mike Tyson boxes that lady and he's like he keeps punching her and she doesn't die. She just keeps saying, "You and your rock and roll 8 tracks, blah blah blah." You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I don't remember it, like,
It's just
specifically, but it
the
sounds
lady just
familiar.
won't die. Like
Yeah.
she won't go anywhere. You can throw all the punches at her. Carolina can lose all these games, but you play them, they won't die, and they end up winning. So Rico Dowdle, man,
Hey,
dude's been lighting it up.
that interview before, he said, "Playing the Cowboys next week. What are your thoughts?" He said, "Buckle up." Post game, they ask him, "What's your thoughts after the game?" He goes, "Them boys didn't buckle
Hey,
up." He stood on business, bro.
they were riding around. Like if you're in a car, somebody else's car, and you don't
Yeah.
buckle up, and the sound ding 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 ding
Ding.
ding 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 ding. The whole game, that's in their ears. The whole game.
That is funny. They were in bed that night, and that thing's going off. But the touch on Dak, it's the same thing every year. Dak's having a good year. What are they doing though? And then the one time that the whole team had a good year, they flunk it in the playoffs. I don't know, dude. Jerry Jones sucks. That's all I'll say on that.
I think
Yeah,
we all agree with that one.
Pickens did go nuts in this game, but so did Rico, dude. Rico went
Yeah,
berserk. And does Chuba Herbert get traded?
I don't know if I'm going that far yet.
I don't know either, but dude, Rico in 2 games is going crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean
Because he
Jerome
ran for
Harrison
183, but let's see.
Jerome Harrison for the Browns a few years ago ran 286 yards in a game, and I don't know where he's at now or how much longer he was
Well,
playing.
I'm not saying he's the long-term answer. He also led the team in receiving with 56 yards and a touchdown.
I did see that too. That's wild.
Bro, he's going berserk. 239 yards from scrimmage is crazy, bro. And then also, I saw a stat that said earlier in the year, Bryce Young and the Panthers fell behind to someone, and he completed 17 straight passes. They ended up winning. This game, they fell behind to the Cowboys. He completed 10 straight passes. They go on to win. So it's like, and then they brought up too in that same clip I seen. Bryce Young last year gets benched for Andy Dalton, comes back and kind of like finishes the season on a high note. It's like seems like Bryce Young, every time we're ready to write him off, backs against the wall, he fights back. So shout out to Bryce Young. The Panthers are better than I expected, I'll be honest.
And Canales is a great coach.
Yeah, I mean they look solid.
Ted McMillan got a couple touchdowns, his first
he
and
looks
second
good.
touchdowns. So
McMillan looks good. And it could help Xavier Legette, to be honest, because maybe with him not trying to be the number one guy, he could be wide receiver 2 or 3 and kind of find something because he hasn't been great for them.
Well, I mean, being frank, I mean he's a good player. That's a tough guy to have as your number one receiver. Like that's not an option you want to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I feel you on that. McMillan
Speaking
fits that
of
bill.
going into the next game, Seattle and Jacksonville, I think you've got your number one receiver. That's mine. Receiver number one. And Jackson
Another
Smith.
man that went off.
Huh?
Yeah. I said that's another man that went off. Talking
Yeah,
about
he had a
Pickens went
really good
off, so did
game.
Jigba.
And with the with DK being gone, I feel like this is officially his official like no, this is my show.
Yep.
Darnold played great. And I wasn't sure that the Jags had one loss coming into this, coming off the big win on Monday night. But God, Darnold, man, I don't think he's just a Viking thing. Like he's here to play.
Well, I think I talked about on a previous episode. Whenever Darnold was on the Niners, people were talking about he's the best quarterback on that team, the best thrower of the football on that team, and stuff like that. And people just some people laughed at it, and then some people stood on it. No, that's true. I mean, Darnold looks like he's going to turn it around and have a solid career after the last few years, or I guess it's only been 2, but I mean, that team could be scary too, and maybe be a kind of team that wins at least a round in the playoffs. Because you got to think Cooper Kupp's still there, and he hasn't really blended into that offense quite yet. If they can get him really involved, get Jigba, that's going to put some secondaries in a bind. So
yeah, for sure.
And Kenneth Walker is also solid. I think he doesn't have a great game this one, but I mean, Seahawks aren't bad. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really good division out there. Los Angeles at Baltimore. My word for this one is ew.
Snooze fest.
Because if you look at the I think the Rams are kind of ew. Okay,
And Puka
maybe not
went
as bad.
out though.
Not as
Puka
bad as
went
I
out.
thought. I was just thinking of the first of this loss or this win and that win. But never mind. It's not as bad as I thought.
Puka went out though, so
yeah, that's true.
That changes a lot.
Hopefully he gets back. But God, Baltimore without freaking Lamar is it's 07 Cavs, not the talent wise, but the drop off. It's 07 Cavs without LeBron.
Yeah.
That's the impact it has.
Does Derrick Henry get involved in trade talks?
I don't know, but it's a very good trade asset. I just don't know how many teams are in the market of we need a running back to put us over the top. I don't know what kind of trade value he has, honestly. An older running back.
Well, yeah, I mean,
maybe
that's
actually,
my thing.
He's not really that old, but
if you're a team that can trade a third or a fourth for him, do you do it, or do they want more? You kind of, I don't know. NFL trade market's weird to me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's. I'm just saying, if they keep losing, Lamar misses a few more weeks, but maybe Lamar comes back quicker than expected, and they get right back on track. Who knows?
And I was gonna say earlier too, not in a good way because I don't ever want anybody's injuries to, be celebrated, if you will. But I mean, the injuries in that division are a real favorite of Baltimore right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Tennessee at Las Vegas. My word is fireable. Without
word.
Brock Bowers. The Raiders get there, I believe. Is that maybe their first, second one of the year? Is it their first?
I was thinking second or third, personally.
It's their second. That's right. Okay. They beat okay. I thought it was their second. Yeah, get their second win so bad that Brian Callahan is the first coach this year to be let go.
Abysmal is a perfect word to put in that headline.
Abysmal, yeah. Abysmal is a very powerful word.
Yeah.
So
well used.
I think it's. I mean, God, look at this. They're almost the worst scoring team in the league, almost the worst differential, most turnovers, worst record. God, I mean, it's pretty.
Bro, they cut ties with Vrabel for this guy. What are we doing?
Yeah.
They got a new stadium getting built. They got to figure this out, dude.
Yeah, and it's always tricky to fire guys mid-season. Maybe not in the NFL as much as in college because there's so many. There's so many vets and guys that can make stuff happen in the NFL and that are smart. But my question is about this. Obviously, I mean, both teams are terrible, but the other team is they're their best player's gone and you lose. It's never good. My question is, who is the next coach that gets fired? For me, I want to say I'm not ready for Aaron Glenn to be gone yet. I think he could be a competitor for that or contender for that, just because I mean of the record. I don't think it's fair, but I think it very well could happen.
I don't think so.
I think the off the page guess is Doctor Mike McDaniel.
There's two people. I think Mike McDaniel is more likely. The second is, oh my God, I want to say Steve Sarkisian, but that's not his name. The Browns guy. What was his name?
Stefanski.
Jesus. I wanted to say Steve Sarkisian. I knew that was wrong. How long has he been in Cleveland this long, anyways, is my thought.
He's actually been in Cleveland for a while. He's
like 6 years, I think. 5, something like that.
Really, he's a really good offensive mind, but God, I mean, a record's a record. I was listening to I kind of wonder, like how he does it. Bill Simmons was talking on this podcast about, we're making a lot of basketball comparisons. How forget his first name, Hardy, the guy's the head coach of the Jazz, is like he said, how does he go home? What does he go home and tell his wife that he does at night? Like, hey, are you cool if we go 18-64 again? It was so funny. Like, hold on. Actually, I want to pull this up because it's hilarious.
My only thing is with Stefanski is like, if you're an offensive-minded guy, why do you have a rookie quarterback game 2 throwing the ball 52 times? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're not protecting your young guy at all, making him throw the ball 52 times.
Here, listen to this real quick.
I don't know where to start with this team. Let's start here. How does Will Hardy explain his job to his wife? When he's home at night, what does he say? This is year 4 for Will Hardy being like, hey, if it's cool, we want to go 18-64 again.
And
that's a good line.
That's Stefanski too. But yeah. I think the cards have been dealt haven't been the greatest. Mike McDaniel, you can't say that.
Oh, dude. They had a squad that first couple years over there.
Yeah, and they were doing all that cute stuff. Oh, he's got the big glasses, the swagger, the off-white sneakers, blah, 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 blah.
Raheem Mostert broke the record for touchdowns in a season rushing for the Dolphins or whatever.
And remember what I was saying earlier? Everything is all cute when you're winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
hey, Gardner Minshew was fire when he was winning with the mullet, and then when he stopped winning.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an all-pro quarterback, though. That's an all-pro quarterback. Don't forget it.
Ding, ding, ding. So, yeah, but I think we're on that same page. See old Big Daddy McDaniel go.
Joey Footsteps.
Yeah, of course, Cincinnati drops another one. But Joe Flacco definitely is a better option than Jake Browning. Jake Browning could be the worst backup quarterback we've seen this season.
He might be starting for the Birmingham Stallions next year.
Yeah, he's, like I'm gonna keep making these comparisons. Like it's like somebody calls out of a shift, and then you're out of people to call, and you see this guy, and you're like, "Well, we just need a body here," and then the store burns down to hell. That's Jake Browning coming in.
It felt that way this year. Last year, he did not play bad.
Yeah, that's fair. But he also wasn't. He wasn't there. He wasn't playing anywhere near as much as he had to play this year.
I don't know. I feel like this. I mean, the times I've seen him in the past couple of years, he hasn't looked bad. But God, yeah, this year he looks terrible. But Joe Flacco is the better option. If them boys want a chance to make playoffs, they need Joe Burrow back sooner than later. We all know that. So at least Flacco looks like he can get a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Gesicki. Looks like he can get some offense flowing, but the defense got to be better, and O-line's going to have to protect Flacco for him to do what he needs to do. So Green Bay gets a dub. Love looks
a weird
solid.
It's a weird Green Bay team to me. I don't really know how to feel about them.
Green Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a question mark in my head as well, so I feel you on that one.
So, this one, San Francisco at Tampa Bay, my word for this is attrition. Health. Because, God, I hate watching it. Like, I love watching the game, but I hate watching, like, teams having to play so depleted, especially San Francisco. You lose freaking Fred Warner for the year, and you're going into an Atlanta team who just, for one half of football, put on an offensive clinic against the Bills. So they're coming in hot, which we're going to get to here in a second. But got but they have great coaching though, because man, them being in like I know that it's 30-19 was the final score. That was a 1-score game with under 3 minutes left. Like that, the icing just got put on the cake. I don't know. They got the dagger with of course Big Baker, Mr. MVP man. But you look, Mac Jones, 350 yards. He's been so good with the Viking, or I'm sorry, with the Niners.
Yeah. Hey, call me crazy. Is Mac Jones a Viking by the end of the year?
No.
If Purdy's their guy, they just paid him. He comes back. You don't use Mac Jones as trade bait?
Who? For Carson Wentz?
No, I'm not saying trade him for Wentz. I'm saying trade him to the Vikings for a draft pick, whatever you can get.
I don't know. Like you said, the NFL trade things are weird. I don't think I really understand it well enough. What does and doesn't make sense?
I mean, Mac Jones anywhere makes sense if they're going to go with Brock Purdy moving forward, because he's lighting it up and his stock's at an all-time high. So
I think some teams may look at that and say, could we use that? Could that be our guy?
And to me, the Vikings just make sense because Kevin O'Connell is going to have – if Mac Jones is throwing for 347 in San Fran, he's going to do it in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Mac Jones looks great. Kendrick Bourne went crazy. Thoughts and prayers of Fred Warner, dude, another victim of San Fran going down for the year.
Yeah.
Dude. He's a dog, too. So
their captain.
Yeah, it's tough to see him go down, but Baker, again, has a stellar performance, has that big run on 3rd and long, scrambles around, stretches the ball across the first down marker, jumps up, flexing, typical Baker MVP style stuff. Love to see it. Baker's rolling. Buccaneers are rolling.
Is that the best team in the league right now?
I mean, you got to say it's them or the Colts.
Ugh, I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, saying the Colts is the best team without Peyton Manning playing quarterback just seems so wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But yeah, Baker well on his way to an MVP. And the Sunday slate wraps up with Detroit at Kansas City. My game is Witchcraft, of course. Kansas City doing things. They are just showing again, no matter how bad games may look prior, no matter what the record is, these guys can find a way to win. I mean, I honestly thought the Lions might maybe not roll this game, but I thought they were going to really assert their dominance in this one. And that did not happen. Obviously, Pat is in his form. Kelsey got his mojo back. And when those two are on the same page, man, that's the team you don't want to play. They're kind of like, I mean, I don't want to compare them to the Steelers, but how you were saying is like they could underachieve, get in the playoffs, being the Chiefs, and run into like an Indy, and they're going to get decimated no matter what the record is.
I just think the difference there is you expect it from the Chiefs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing them to the Steelers, but in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if the Chiefs are in the playoffs, everyone's worried. Nobody wants to play the Chiefs. Everybody knows that, So
it's that Alabama effect.
Yeah, for sure. But Illuminati's back at it again. Chiefs are Chiefs again, I guess.
The witch is not dead.
I will say that my biggest takeaway from this game at the NFL here. I'm atting you, NFL. This is not a subtweet. This is straight at you, NFL. Never put these guys on Sunday Night Football again. If I got to hear Chris Collinsworth choke on Patrick Mahomes' hog one more time on a Sunday night
here's
for 4 straight hours, dude, it's comical at this point. Like, I just have to laugh at
Mahomes.
Like, now here's a guy, like, dude, like, brother, like, only a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Like, what other quarterback is going to stretch for the first down? Like, dude, Baker just ran for a crazy first down earlier today. What are we talking about? Like,
and let me just about Collinsworth, he's really good. Like, he does.
I don't mind him. It's just the Patrick Mahomes
job. But you put that you put 15 on the field, it's like a child meeting their hero.
There's two things, bro. There's two things that drives me insane with Collinsworth, and I don't mind Collinsworth, but two things that drive me insane. Him talking about Patrick Mahomes, and you let like a Josh Allen or Justin Herbert be on there. He's not going to talk about them. He's going to talk about their smoking hot girlfriend every time. He's a horn dog, bro. It's insane. Like Collinsworth, I don't mind you, but I got to give you some shit, dude. Like it's just, I don't know. It's funny. That's all I can say.
Now you see why Herbert's cracking that thing from the back. I mean, here's a guy.
Yeah,
Oh, pump the brakes there.
We haven't seen this kind of pass efficiency since Patrick Mahomes. It's like, dude, come on, get off his hog, bro.
Dude, we're watching Frank Tarkenton highlights. Chill out.
But, like, I mean, like literally though, bro. I watch it and it's comedy. Like I laugh. Like there's people that I send the memes to back and forth. There's a guy who does like a Chris Collinsworth impersonation. He's always like going back to Patrick Mahomes with it, and it's hilarious. And like, there's a couple people that I have. We'll send them back and forth every week when we see him. It's hilarious, dude. Like, and like he'll. Like it'll literally be this guy on vacation in a pool, and he'll talk about like I haven't seen something this beautiful since watching Patrick Mahomes throw a football or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
I've seen like it'll be like soccer highlights, and it'll be like want to play from Mahomes.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. It's just comedy. Shout out you, Chris Collinsworth. It's all love, but at the same time,
But I think nonetheless we know, and we probably knew this before, but this is kind of cementing it. Kansas City still don't want to see those guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Still don't. Last game we'll talk about because I know neither one of us really watched the Washington. Hadn't knew much about the Chicago Washington game. Is me proving you wrong? Me not proving you wrong.
1 second. One thing I will say about this. Okay, so for those of you listening, me, Joey, Tripp, and a couple of other guys that don't do the podcast, but you guys know us three. We went to we went to Twin Peaks, watched the Falcons game together, you know, little guys' night out, no problem with that. Every time I looked up at this Washington-Chicago game, which for whatever reason was on like one TV in the corner that we could see at least, every time I looked up, DeAndre Swift was having a big game, it seemed like. And looking at this box score, it seems like my eyes weren't deceiving me because, like you said, Joey, we clearly weren't paying attention to this game. Rushes for 108 and catches 67, you know, like receives 67. So it's like my eyes weren't deceiving me. DeAndre Swift ran this game is what I saw with my eyes, the little bit I did see, and box score checks out as well. So
let me tell you,
that is crazy. But
always got love for DeAndre Swift. One of my from this game right here, 2017 SEC championship, when he runs the dagger touchdown back against Auburn, is one of my favorite Georgia plays ever. I don't know. I can't really explain to you why. I just know it is. But our good buddy Josh, he got me one of those autographs, and it was what's it called? It was DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I remember that. So one thing I will say about DeAndre Swift, is it just me or does he have 1, 2, sometimes 3 of these games a year? It seems like he's good for a couple of these games a year. Like where he honestly popped off out of nowhere.
I'll tell you about him when he was at Georgia, his freshman year when he was with Chubb, Michelle. He was the most talented running back on that team. Not the best, obviously. He had more talent than any running back on that team. He was unreal. So I'm glad to see him still. I mean, that was 8 years ago, him still having some success in the league.
Right. But with that being said, I just want to touch on DeAndre Swift real quick because I'm seeing he led rushing and receiving. That kind of blew me away. But I was also, every time I looked up, he had a big play. Now, however, you can completely destroy me on this other Sunday night game.
My good brother right here told me the reason or that the Falcons would simply not be able to beat the Bills because they could not contain Marcus Mariota, who threw for 150 yards. But you know what? They made the reigning MVP of the league look like Marcus Mariota when he played for the Falcons. I've got some mixed feelings about kind of how the offense went, but the defense was in Josh Allen's face the entire game. Yeah. They went down. What did they score? I just want to look at this real quick. Make sure I'm right. Actually, I have this pulled up. They scored 14 in the fourth, or in the. Okay, no, it was one touchdown in the first, one touchdown in the third. the Falcons took over that game defensively. Allen never looked comfortable. I know he was missing. Was it Kincaid was out?
Yeah.
Kincaid or Knox, one of the two was out. But so it was Kincaid. That's who it was. Kincaid was out. But he never looked comfortable, not for a second. All tights. I mean, it was nickel blitzes. It was linebacker blitzes. It was just winning your pass rush, maintaining the pass integrity. He tried to do that stupid gimmicky toss crap, and I was super impressed with how the Falcons defense played. And that's what Billy Bowman being out too. The return of AJ Terrell really showed. He made a lot of big plays. But we would be remiss if we didn't unequivocally agree that the star of the night was Bijan Robinson. No question about it. It's always been like, he's gotten his respect as being one of the better running backs in the league. But this was like his super. Say what?
Can we say stars? Drake London went berserk.
Well, Bijan was like the star though. But let me just say,
go ahead.
Bijan, this was, I think, his superstar coming out party. This was his game of going from, oh, I'm somebody that people don't talk about enough. No, I'm one of the best players in the league. Raheem said, they think he is the best player in the league, which as he should feel that way. Not sure if I would give him that sentiment, but I couldn't name you five players better than him right now. He is incredible. And just the way he electrifies, the way he does everything too, like the way he chipped Ed Oliver on that block when he was crashing down and just put him on his butt. I mean, he does everything, man. He's such an easy guy to root for, and I think he really came out as a superstar. Drake London in the first half, 99 overall. Dude had 150 or 147 yards in the first half. Penix played pretty poorly in the second half, but they just played complimentary football. Did enough to win. But Drake London was a madman the first half. I think he had 10 catches, 147 yards, a touchdown. Really was one step away from having 2 touchdowns and going up 28-7 instead of 21-7. But yeah, I feel really good about this team. I mean, I really do. And I don't want to just overhype because it was a Monday night win over Buffalo. Obviously, it's a bigger win. But, man, this team is bounced back from that Carolina game and really like a whole different squad. So, really excited about them going forward. Not excited about the field goal kick because, they had that block kick, but it looked like it was going to get shanked anyway. So, but no, I'm really excited about this team.
Yeah, Drake London was also half a yard away from having another touchdown and making this 28-7 at half. So let's not forget this game could have been even more out of hand.
Did I not say that?
Maybe you did. If you did, I missed it. I apologize.
But hey, there's one thing I don't mind you reiterating. It's that right there.
Yeah. However, second half, kind of a snooze fest. I mean, defensively, it was good, but
100%.
Nothing crazy happened in the second half. I mean, we got 10 total points. But I will say one thing that I do like about this Falcons having a big win on Monday night, when you look at the splits, they ran the ball 32 times. Penix had 32 passes. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Balance. And not only are you balanced, but I mean, you got Bijan with 170 rushing yards, but then on the flip side, yeah, he also catches 68 yard or, has 6 catches for 68 yards, but then Drake London goes off for 158. So it's like, not only are you balanced, but both you're running it well and you're throwing it well. As in a sense, yes, second half they fell off, took a step back, but I was wrong. The reason why the Falcons won this game is because of their defense. Josh Allen, he didn't have an answer.
He looked rattled the whole game.
Yeah, I mean he didn't have. I mean every time he was on sideline, he looked miserable. Shout out to the Falcons. That's all I'll say. No need to keep harping on it. Joey got me.
I mean, Falcons. You outgained the Bills. I mean, the offensive juggernaut, in years past, and showed flashes of it this year. Outgained by 150 yards. The Falcons have 150 more yards. You have less turnovers, more first downs, less penalties, more third down conversions, higher possession time. I mean, that's how you win games right there. One thing, I'm not going to say it this week, but something I want you to think about as the season progresses, how we've seen Buffalo kind of underperform, if anything, Is their championship window closing? I don't want you to answer right now, but I want you to think about it. Is that championship window closing? But I could say a lot of things about this game, but I think I'm just gonna kind of end on that as what a win. Catapult is in a week. I guess it would be
7.
in a week 7. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's pick some of these games. Let me get our share pulled up. Let's pick some of these and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we always do the primetime matchup, so I'm gonna go. We got Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. I got Pittsburgh taking firm control of this division, winning this game.
Steelers as well.
Okay. All right. We got the London finale, final game in London this year. Rams at Jacksonville. I got the Jaguars winning this one, especially because we don't know about Nakua coming back. I'm taking Jacksonville.
I think they are saying he's supposed to be back for this one, but I think Jacksonville too. I mean, this is basically a home game for Jacksonville. They always got them in London, so
Yeah.
that's good. I think I'm gonna go Jags on this one as well.
All right. Eagles at Minnesota. Eagles 1.5 point favorite. I see this being kind of the week of locker room explosion for now. Of course, last week they did not have Jalen Carter, the Eagles. Not that makes a 2 touchdown difference, but I think he'll be back this week. But I got Minnesota taking a win at home.
I got Eagles. I don't believe in Carson Wentz.
Fair enough. All right. Saturday or Sunday night game, once again in prime time, the Falcons at the Niners. Falcons or the Ram can't talk. Oh my gosh. The Niners 2.5 point favorite. I got the Falcons letting it roll. The primetime streak continues. They're beating San Fran. I just with how this offense looks to be clicking, the Falcons look to be running the ball. The Niners missing so much on defense. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Do have a reuniting of Jalen Walker versus Michael Williams, who starts for the Niners. Just a little nugget, but yeah, rise up, baby.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons, dude. 49ers are too banged up for me to take them pretty much any week at this point. Like, they got to be playing some scrub teams. It's like nothing against the Niners. They're doing great for what they got out there, but
yeah,
it's just, I mean, it's a shell of what that team really should be, if we're being honest. Like, losing Fred Warner's another huge loss. You said they have a lot missing on defense. You could have just stopped it. They have a lot missing. You didn't have to say the defense part. They're missing
exactly
a ton. It seems like a repeat of last year for them, unfortunately. But yeah, Falcons look like they're rolling, which is usually when the Falcons let us down. However, I'm rolling with the Dirty Birds.
That's right, baby. All right, and then 2 Monday night games. Tampa at Detroit. Really excited about that one. Detroit's 5.5 point favorite. I'm taking them to. I'm gonna have them take the Bucks off the high horse a little bit. I think they're gonna come away with the win. 5.5 point favorite at home. Give me Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going for the same sentiment. Seems like Detroit will bounce back this week, and on top of that, Tampa Bay's gotta get humbled at some point. They're on a hot streak, and they're kind of due for a loss, where Detroit's coming off of one. So seems like Detroit's going to get back on track here to me as well.
For sure. Last game of the week, Houston at Seattle. I know Seattle just had a big week, big win over another AFC South opponent in the Jags. I got Houston avenging their conference foe.
I'm going to split with you on this one. I got Seattle. Jigba's too good. Sam Darnold looks too good. The Texans have looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
I think them boys are going to – this is a 10 p.m. kickoff?
Well, I mean, it's in Seattle, so it's 7 o'clock.
Holy smokes. Okay. Football all night Monday. I'll call
sir.
it work Tuesday, I guess. I didn't realize it just blew me away when I looked up, like, wait, 10 o'clock? But, yeah, I think Seattle on this one, dude. Jigba looks great. I mean, they still got other guys like Cooper Kupp and Kenneth Walker. I was blanking on his name. Sam Darnold's looking good. I don't know. I'm rolling with Seattle on this one. We'll split on this one as well. Kind of like the
Eagles, that's
Vikings.
I reckon that's it. So if you ain't got nothing else, I'll say appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll have our lovely other co-host back with us with Trip and Graham next week.
Let's do a twofer.
What are you
Underdog.
talking about? Picking a line?
Just do let's just throw. I don't have one picked either. I just pulled up the app. Let's just find a quick one just to throw out there. It's a twofer. If we can't hit 2 of them, bro, we need to retire.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just one. We each just got to hit one each.
Let me take a look. Pull up NFL. I'll tell you what, my favorite to personally do is passing yards, and I'm going to take I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over 216 and a half against Cincy.
All right, I see that one. That's literally the first one on my app. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, let's see if it focus. Popular picks: Aaron Rodgers top left. Okay, yeah. So, you kind of make me want to stick with Thursday night as well. To be honest, let's see if
We doing a Thursday night burner.
Thursday pick'ems.
It's got to be somebody from the Bills, or I'm sorry, Bengals.
Oh yeah, you're right. That adds a little that throws a wrench in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, that does throw a wrench in it. Do we go over on Higgins? I don't like that at all.
What's his?
Higgins is 46.5 on underdogs. Do we go TJ Watt sack?
That's also the Steelers.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Dude, I want to do a Thursday pickles, but none of these look great. I almost want to go over on Flacco, dude.
Well, what's his at?
232.5.
That's interesting. Him having a higher line than
or Flacco 2 tuds.
You know what? I'll ride that.
I don't know how much I believe in it, but we'll throw it out there.
Yeah, let's ride it. Joe Flacco. Let's see.
From
2 tuds?
Yeah, let's ride it. I don't feel great about it, but let's see what happens, dude. Let's see
That's
what
okay.
He's got some weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Let me add it in there.
All right. I'm running 10 for 33.50 in return. That's what it says.
Yeah, mine's 10 for 35. So
yeah, similar.
Well, all right, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll update you guys on this. I got mine right here.
We're locked in.
Yeah, let me go ahead and submit lineup. All right. We'll go ahead and send that in the chat too, Logan. We'll see if our comrades want to join us. But guys, appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back next week. Peace.